In my calling, character, and adjustment class, I learned so much. One of the things that stood out to me the most regarding calling was the 5 C's of calling. That your calling will be clear, consistent, committed, corporate, and complete. And those are all 5 things that I'm really seeking out right now, and has really given me direction into understanding what I'm made to do here on earth. But I also, in this class, I've learned in regards to calling that it's not a mystery what God is up to in the world. It's not like we have to seek what God is trying to reveal, and our calling is a mysterious thing. In class, we learn that God is up to reaching the nations with his glory and getting people from all people groups to know and worship him. And so therefore my calling must fit into that plan, that grand plan that God has, whether it be staying here in America or living overseas amongst an unreached people group. And I also, in this class, learned the importance of prayer. We talked a lot about prayer and how that actually is what moves heaven down onto earth, and that is the work that needs to be done. And we are to be totally dependent upon God. And we learned that also from the Radical book by David Platt that we read. And that really impacted me, because he said something that we can be very successful on our own. We can fill our churches with the masses. But if the Holy Spirit's void of it, then what's the point? And as of now, me and my best friend are starting a production company, and we are trying our best to live for the nations. Right now, from here, 10% of our profit, let's say somebody hires us to do a wedding or something like that, 10% of our profit goes straight to a global cause, something to build the global church. Right now, we're building an orphanage. We're helping fund an orphanage in Ivory Coast, Africa. And I've helped some friends monetarily to get overseas, and I myself am going on a short-term mission trip, and I just want to see what it's like to be across the world. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, but as I said in the beginning, those 5 C's, I'm really seeking them out and seeing what's clear, what's consistent, what's complete, and what I actually am going to commit to, and what people are confirming in my life. In regards to character, I feel like this class really taught me that in order to be a cross-cultural worker, or just a ministry person in general, humility is key, and that is something that can't be manufactured. It's something that you need to ask God to do in you, to help you be humble and understand what that quality even means, what that lifestyle even is of humility, of constantly serving others and understanding them and being open and not letting pride get in the way. And in regards to adjustments, one of the things that impacted me the most in this class was learning to think gray. The missionary came and said that this Muslim man Muslim believer background, he's a Muslim before, religiously, and that's another thing I learned. People Islam is not when people say they're Muslim, it can also be cultural, not just religious, and that's for me, it's different. That's an adjustment. And then just he was saying that this guy was how can I marry another woman? I won't divorce the other one, but can I marry the other woman? And then he was show me in the Bible where it says I can't marry more than one woman. And like the missionary was like, what would you guys do? You know, like those are things that are like very like you gotta think in gray. Like it's just it's hard, but I'm learning to think like that. And I also the church planting movements, that was really impactful for me, because I'm like, I wish that was happening right now. Like I'm tired of the corporate big church with like you just go and hear the pastor speak and then you leave and you go have lunch. I don't know, like I'm praying about it, but I want to like start something like that here. I don't know, but I just love the idea of house churches and like meeting in a house and reading the Bible together, and not just have one part of the body speak to us like all the time, you know. So yeah, and I'm just like, I'm like happy to see that around the world like a lot of work is being done and the gospel is going forth, but that there's still a great need. And for someone who's like kind of conflicted about whether or not to be involved in missions in the nations, I would say that first, you don't have to pray about being involved in getting the gospel to the nations. Like, that's just a given. God commanded us to do so. Now, how that looks like, that's what you need to pray about. Whether it be staying here and sending people and mobilizing, or actually, like, leaving this life and going to live amongst another people group. Like, the specifics is where, like, you need to be praying. But there's no question about whether you should be involved in missions in the nations or something like that. You're either like a goer or a sender or kind of both. Like, and to just like really pray and like God will show you what to do. But don't over spiritualize it. There's no doubt about it.